This is a guided art meditation you can do right along with me, or you can watch and relax. I used an extra large sheet of watercolor paper and 6 watercolor pens for this art meditation. You will also want a water brush filled with water. I have 2 just in case I need a backup. And take a deep breath in to get started, and a deep breath out. Pick up your first color. We're going to use all 6 colors on this first square. Go ahead and make some nice scribbles on the page. Just doodle away, let it be flowy and easy. And right now, what you're doing is getting used to the movements of the watercolor brush pen in your hand. You can go ahead and switch to another color anytime you like. If you want to follow me, you'll be moving on to your third color now. And I'm moving quickly here because I am going to be dropping into flow state, but I also want to get out of my head. So it's time to connect to the sensations you are feeling on the page. How does the paper feel as you move your watercolor brush pen across the page? How does the pen feel in your hand? And notice if you are making strokes up and down, across the page. Are they squiggles? Are they scribbles? How does it feel to be sitting on the surface that you've chosen? Maybe you're sitting at a table and you're sitting on a chair. I'm sitting on the floor on a cushion. Take a moment to notice your surroundings and go ahead and move on to the water brush pen. So, whatever color you have on this first square is perfect. You're going to take your water brush pen and add some water drops. And now blend those colors together. And you can wipe off the brush of your water pen occasionally to prevent muddying, but for now, just let yourself feel the movement of the water brush against the page. How does it feel to spread this water, to blend this water? What do you notice about the colors on the page as they start to blend together? Maybe there's some blooming happening. So let yourself be aware of what's happening visually and with your other sensations like physical touch. How does it sound? I know you can hear my voice as you listen to this. Can you hear the brush against the paper? Bring awareness to your breath. Are you breathing fast, shallow, more relaxed? And take a deep breath here. Let's move on to our second square. So whatever color blending you've done on this first one is perfect. And I'm going to use 3 colors on this second square. And for this one, make star shapes. So abstract star or burst shapes on the page. Move on to your second color, make some more star burst shapes. And just let your intuition tell you when it's enough and when it's balanced. Go ahead and move on to your third color. Fill in some of that white space with additional star burst shapes. Just let this be intuitive. Whatever shape wants to form on the page is just fine. Whatever you have, let's move on together with our water brush pen. Add some water droplets to the page. You can shake some out or let them just drop from the pen slowly. And start blending. You can start blending your lighter color first, and then move on to the darkers, or do it however you want. Let your hand movement be flowy. And take the next few moments to just pay attention to how this looks. What is the water doing with the color on the paper? And how does it feel? Okay, let's move on to our third square. I'm going to use 3 colors. So I had 6 colors total. I'm going to use the other 3 colors I did not use in the last one I just did. So take your 3 colors. And for this one, let's do flowy lines. We've experimented with some bursts and scribbles. Make some flowy lines on the paper. And how does this feel? Does the pen feel different in your hand? When it moves this way across the paper, just let your intuition tell you where the color can go, where the lines can go. Let your breath guide you, and you can make that mean whatever you think it means or you want it to mean. Whatever you have, it's good. Let's move on to the water brush pen. Add your water droplets to the paper and start making those flowy lines with the water brush pen. So you're blending the colors just like we've been doing, using the flowy gesture here. And for the next few moments, as you make these flowy line marks, bring awareness and attention to your breath. Intentionally breathe deeply. Checking in, notice your breath. So as you make marks on the page, bring your attention to your breath and see what happens. Whatever blending you've done up to this point is good enough. We're moving on to the fourth square. Let's use all 6 colors again. I want you to choose what your line work looks like for this one. And the last bit of guidance I'll give is just get all 6 colors on the page. Let your intuition guide you and focus on the physical sensation of the pen on the paper. Don't overthink it. Whatever you have is good enough. Even if you didn't get to all 6 colors, go ahead and grab your water brush pen, add your water droplets, and start blending. And for this part, I want you to imagine you are blending from your heart center. You can interpret that however you like, but that's your meditative practice for the next moment. Is imagine you are blending these colors together with the water from your heart center. Wherever you're at in the process, take a deep breath in and let it out. You'll start winding down in just a moment. Take another deep breath in. You can continue blending and let it out. Wherever you're at in the process, go ahead and add your final water droplets or make your final blending strokes. Put your water brush pen aside. And that concludes this part of your art meditation. I'm going to let these dry and do a part 2. Whether you join me or not for that next video, give these about 20 to 30 minutes to dry. You can lightly touch them to check and see if they're flat and ready to go. But I'll be taking a micron pen and doing a technique that I have done many videos on. Feel free to join me for part 2 when that video comes out. And most of all, thank you for joining me today. I hope you feel a little more connected to yourself through the practice we just went through.